Yo, 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 what's good? It's your boy Shaliam from the Fantasy Addicts coming at you with a week 2 video of the LA Rams. Everything you need to know about the Rams. Now, last week we had Frank on. We did have quite a few things not go the way we wanted to, things we didn't think were going to happen that I'm going to quickly scan over right now. So just to quickly go over the last game, was not a good game for us as a team. Pretty much any side of the ball, there was not really any positive takeaways from that game. What I can say is, though, it's going to be a huge bounce back this week. We have the Atlanta Falcons. I think this is going to be a 10-plus point victory. Just in relation to fantasy football, we did tell you to start Cam Akers. We did tell you to start Allen Robinson, and those two guys did not come through. I am going to completely change my view on Cam Akers. Now, I understand the reason we didn't really want you to start him, but the draft capital you went and spent on him in your drafts is something that you've spent too much to completely cut someone like Cam Akers. On top of that, sit him week 1. But right now, he does need to stay on your bench 100%. I think that Darrell Henderson is the lead, has this job to himself at the moment. Cam Akers is kind of in the doghouse as well as not being 100% healthy. You do have Kyren Williams, who went on IR. He's got a sprained ankle. He's out for at least 4 weeks. Now, the only way Kyren Williams was going to make it into your lineup if both these two backs went down, but instead he went down. So the pathway for him, if you're in a deep dynasty league, if you want to hold him on your IR, keep him in your taxi squad, fair enough. There still is a pathway. It's a long season. So just quickly scanning through that running back room, you can definitely start Darrell Henderson. It's a great start this week, even though it's really hard to tell what is going to happen with this backfield, because I wouldn't be surprised if these two both come out this game and they both have the exact same amount of carries, targets, catches, because it's hard to read and gauge whether or not Cam Akers is in the doghouse or he's just not 100% healthy. So for now, definitely sit and wait. Do not cut Cam Akers. But as for who you want to start in this backfield, if you I know that a lot of people drafted Darrell Henderson in the double-digit rounds, and congratulations, you've got a great pick there. He's going to really produce for you for the next coming weeks while we figure out what's going on with Cam Akers. So sit Cam Akers, start Darrell Henderson. Also, my start of the week, just in any quarterback situation, is Matthew Stafford this week. I think he's going to have a great bounce back week 2. Last year against bottom tier defenses, bottom of the league records like Jacksonville, Houston, Chicago, and Detroit, he threw for 303 each of those games. He threw over 300 passing yards and either 3 or more passing touchdowns. So Matthew Stafford is a huge start this week. He's going to come back and he's going to come out on fire, which leads me to his his receiving core, his wide receiver core. Obviously, you're starting Cooper Kupp. I don't ever want to hear anyone question whether they should start Cooper Kupp. I think it's pretty obvious. He should always be started. So we'll just say it, clear that air kind of right now. And just make sure you guys know that. Never start Cooper Cup. You could even talk me into starting him on a bye week. That's how good Cooper Cup is. No, I'm kidding. But yes, always start your Cooper Cups. Now, look, I know we were all about Allen Robinson last week, and I know he disappointed a lot of people. He had 2 targets. I honestly think he's going to have a bounce back week. The only way that Matthew Stafford is going to throw for 303 is if it's going to go to more than Cooper Cup. Look, if Cooper Cup has 300 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, I'm not going to be surprised. But this team needs a second wide receiver. That's why last year Odell Beckham Jr. was so important to this team, and the reason they went so far and deep into their playoff run and they won the Super Bowl, it's because they had another playmaker on the other side of Cooper Cup. I don't think Allen Robinson's finished. They didn't pay him all that money to not bring him in and be a part of this offense. If you have another option, like say you picked up Curtis Samuel off the waiver wire, Jahan Dotson, and you have more confidence in someone like them, go ahead. I think that there's very little people you can tell me you're going to start over them. So I'll just give you a few examples. So Curtis Samuel, if you want to start someone like him over Allen Robinson this week, go for your life. DJ Chark, same thing. They're going to be in a high-scoring game this week. If you want to play DJ Chark off the waiver, go ahead. But Jahan Dotson, Robbie Anderson, Sterling Shepard, maybe you pick Sterling Shepard up after the big game. People like that. I am starting Allen Robinson over them. I still have belief, and I think this is a great game for all the pieces to come together against a bad defense. At least I think it is a bad defense. They gave up like 15 points in the 4th quarter to Jameis Winston. And I think Matthew Stafford can also do the same thing in 1 quarter with the weapons he has. 100% going to be a get-right game for this team. And because of how I was talking about with the 2 receivers, I think Tyler Higbee is also going to be a great start for you. If you're struggling at tight end, if you didn't draft a tight end and you wanted to punt that position, I think Tyler Higbee off the waiver wire is a great start. He had 11 targets last week. They weren't on the same page. He only caught 5 of them. It's under 50% catch rate. I think they're going to be on the same page this time. They're going to, none of them played in the preseason. I think that wasn't really talked about as well. So having another week under their belt, being all together after a huge loss like that, an embarrassing loss at home, I think they're all going to come out angry. I think they're all going to be very, very excited to prove to everyone that they are still Super Bowl contenders. They are still this division leader. So just to go over everything, I would start Allen Robinson over the waiver options that you probably picked up this week, apart from very little. Start Cooper Cup, start Tyler Higbee if you've punted the tight end position, start Matthew Stafford, sit Cam Akers, and start Darrell Henderson. Also, if the Rams defense is on the waiver wire, pick them up. Atlanta's still going to score quite a few points. Marcus Mariota did look pretty good last week, but I think this defense is going to be hungry. And Marcus Mariota fed off the run last week. Cordero Patterson had 120 yards and a touchdown. That's not happening this week. Jalen Ramsey's not going to let up what he did. He's not versing Stephon Diggs. He's versing Drake London this time. It's going to be a really tough game for all the Falcons. So please start majority of your Rams. Main point of this video is to make sure you guys are sitting Cam Akers. If you want to sit and watch Allen Robinson, be my guest. But I definitely think he has a strong bounce back this week. And yeah, that's everything from me, guys. Make sure you follow us on the Twitter, the Instagram, and make sure you're tuning into all the other week 2 breakdowns of all the other teams. Thanks again. Peace.